Has the medical system caused you to feel like a statistic? Do you ever feel like you have a subscription to prescriptions and you're not even sure if they're helping? Did you know that the number of Americans taking psychiatric medications has risen by over 65% in the last 20 years? In fact, many Americans are taking antidepressants for their anxiety in addition to their anxiety medications. Now, in 2020, recent studies have determined that the rate of Americans taking antidepressants or anxiety medications has jumped to a staggering 1 in 6 people. In many ways, this uptake in the use of psychiatric medications makes perfect sense. Americans report feeling busier than ever, they're more stressed financially, and they're anxious about their future and the future of their children. Add to that the fact that many doctors are overwhelmed with the amount of patients they have to see in a day, and quite frankly, medications will offer short-term relief. If you have any exposure to the internet or television, you know that you're constantly inundated with advertisements about the latest prescription medications. This combination of factors and more is likely contributing to the fact that many people do not know that there are integrative and natural solutions to anxiety that are safe and effective. If you're looking for something different than the status quo, then this video is made for you. Hi, I'm Dr. Nicole Cain, an anxiety expert and leader in integrative treatments for mental health. I've worked with people from around the world to shift away from the constant cycle of anxiety, pills, and more anxiety. I've guided clients into finding integrative solutions that work so that they're in control of their lives and feel like themselves again. In this video, I'm going to share integrative and natural solutions with you to help you reduce your anxiety and start living the life you want. Okay. So you finally hit your threshold in the circular loop of panic, anxiety, side effects from your benzo, and then more panic and anxiety. Your doctor keeps recommending adding on more and more medications or upping the dosages. You're taking a handful of pills just to get through the day, and the side effects are terrible. What's the worst thing that's happening to you? For me, when I got caught in the cycle of medications to suppress my anxiety and then more medications to manage the side effects, I felt like my brain wouldn't work. I was still anxious, and on top of that, I was now addicted to taking all of these chemicals that weren't actually healing my mind or my body. The worst part is that for millions of people around the world, once you're stuck on a benzo, it's almost impossible to get off. The taper can be horrible, and the side effects can be extreme to unmanageable. I'm Dr. Nicole Cain, an anxiety expert and leader in integrative treatments for mental health. I've worked with people from around the world to shift out of the medication and panic loop and into being in control of their lives and feeling like themselves again. Here's 2 of the most effective strategies that work in 3 powerful ways. These tools I'm about to share with you will do several things. 1 is to restore GABA receptors that have been damaged by medication use. Another thing is that it will provide microdosages of GABA-A to support the bridge between feeling anxious and over-medicated. It will also help ease the symptoms of anxiety and quickly so that you can get back to living your life. So let's get started. The first thing is we need to heal your brain. If the GABA receptors in your brain are damaged, you're going to deal with chronic anxiety, insomnia, and even panic attacks. You're going to need more and more of your medication, and you will experience more side effects from the higher doses, like depression, brain fog, lack of motivation, debilitating fatigue. The good news is that there's a solution that has been shown in the clinical research that works. One of my favorite examples of this was a client that I was working with. She'd been taking Klonopin for panic attacks for over 6 years. She had tried to taper off of her benzo dozens of times, but every time she tried to reduce the dosage to the last 25%, she experienced small seizure-like episodes, severe insomnia, and her blood pressure would spike. We started her on a very low dose of a brain-healing herb, and she immediately noticed that overall her anxiety was slightly lessened, and over a period of 6 weeks, she was able to increase to a therapeutic dose. The benefits of this plant accumulated over time, and it became one of the most pivotal tools that she used to get off of her benzo and get her life back. She is now the author of her own story. She's writing the life she'd always dreamed of. Are you ready to learn what she used? The number 1 most researched substance on healing brain tissue post-medication use, especially and including benzodiazepines, is Avena sativa. Avena sativa literally heals the brain tissue. It's safe to use long-term, and you can use it with your benzodiazepine medications. It also reduces anxiety and pretty quickly and effectively. Of course, before starting this plant or any other medication or supplement, talk with your doctor because everybody's body is different. That being said, typically my clients start slowly and work their way up. For example, you might ask your doctor about starting with a liquid extract of Avena sativa and taking about a squeeze in juice or water one time and seeing how you do. If you like this herb, which most people do, work your way up and you can take about 3 big squeezes in a small amount of juice or water up to 5 times per day. Herbs work by healing the brain, healing the body, balancing your chemistry, and so be patient with yourself. Typically, you'll see the most benefit from an herb after 6 weeks of regular use. Be patient with yourself and your body. Your brain can and will heal. For example, if you fall off your bicycle and scratch your knee, your body's going to heal that scratch without you even thinking about it. Just like that, the brain can heal as well. The body's designed to heal itself, and there are many things that you can do to make that process work faster and better. The second strategy I want to share with you today is the GABA bridge. I'm going to teach you how to support your GABA levels while you're withdrawing. The dosage jumps in medications are often so big that it makes tapering nearly impossible. People have come up with strategies to try to ease this process, like changing to different types of medications or reducing the frequency of tapering, but sometimes this doesn't even work. This was the case with another client I worked with. She was a powerful leader in the field of help and self-improvement, but she was a wounded healer herself, and she dealt with pretty bad anxiety and insomnia. What I admired about her, though, was that she was an avid researcher. She had been doing everything right for all intents and purposes. She ate an anti-inflammatory diet. She got plenty of exercise. She meditated daily. She'd done all sorts of testing and work regarding gut health, and she was working with an acupuncturist, health coach, naturopath, psychiatrist. But despite her best efforts, she was unable to taper down any further on her benzodiazepine. One of the missing pieces for her was the GABA bridge. Let's look at it this way. What is more jarring to your nervous system? The change in lighting when you come out of a dark theater into the broad daylight, or the slow rising of the sun in the morning? Obviously the former, right? It's going to be more jarring to your nervous system, just like with benzo tapering. We have to create a slower, more gentle environment so that the brain doesn't even notice the GABA reduction. This will give your neurotransmitters time to adapt to the changing levels and prevent you from horrible benzo withdrawal. I've created a GABA bridge in the recipe, Happy Sleepy Powder. Happy Sleepy Powder is a combination of amino acids that aid your body in making its own GABA. They reduce inflammation, heal the brain, improve sleep, and reduce anxiety. Typically, when starting someone on Happy Sleepy Powder, I like to start 1 amino acid at a time in low dosages and then work our way up depending on how we do. Here's the strategy that our beautiful entrepreneur used. The first thing was inositol. She started with 100 milligrams a day and then worked her way up to 12 grams. Then theanine. She started 100 milligrams per day and then she increased that until she was taking it up to 4 times a day. Glycine. She added 100 milligrams and then she increased daily until she was taking 500 milligrams 4 times a day. Taurine. She started at 500 milligrams and increased daily until she was taking 1.5 grams up to 4 times per day. And then lastly, phosphatidylserine, 100 milligrams in the morning. Phosphatidylserine often causes brain opening and creativity increasing, and so if that happens to you, then stick with 100 or 200 milligrams in the morning, versus if it does make you more relaxed because it reduces cortisol, take 100 milligrams 3 times per day. There's something huge that we haven't talked about yet. The very important topic of actually getting to the root cause of your symptoms. Babe, I can offer you hundreds of recommendations of herbs and supplements and remedies to help you get off your anxiety medications, but what if we actually helped you be free from anxiety to begin with? Sure, we can help you get off your anxiety medications and help you not be anxious all the time, but I have to ask, what would your life be like if you were free from anxiety? How would that impact your relationships or your career? Babe, this stuff works. I know we can help you with the basics of benzo tapering, but what if we 10x'd that? My soul's on fire from this stuff, and I would like to propose that we take it 1,000 steps further. What if we actually rewrite your story? What if we went beyond the formula and you actually healed? What would your life look like? Understand that what I've just shared with you is the tip of the iceberg. I have so much more to share with you, and my passion is to help those suffering from anxiety truly find the freedom they've been seeking. But what if we went even further and started to write your new story, the story that you long for? How would your life change? Know that when you're ready to have a fully functional toolkit for leaving anxiety and worry in the dust, you are in the right place. And I have the knowledge to help. If you're ready to try out some of my anti-anxiety solutions, then I've got a gift for you. I've developed an Anxiety Freedom 1-week challenge. It brings you through 7 days of exercises that you can do in your spare time that will get you results. I hereby challenge you to come play and learn with me for a week and begin putting a new skill into action every single day. You deserve a chance to get rid of the nagging worry and step into your true self. You can grab my free workbook and start the challenge by going to my website right now. It's free. You can start anytime if you need to give it a couple of days or a week, or maybe even get some friends. The more people that you can have supporting you in the process, the better, babe. You'll find the link in the description below. And don't think I'll let you take this wild ride alone. No way, girl. I'll be there for you with daily tips and tricks to rock this challenge like only you can. Together, we've got this. Download my free Anxiety Freedom 1-week challenge by clicking on the link in the description below or going to my website. Let's get started.